What's up, Docs Daily? It's me, Detroit Lenny, here with Robert Ringo on a Thursday. It looks like it's just the two of us. Kurt Trapp's hit and miss. You know how he is.
He's out solving. He's out solving crime.
Yeah, he's out solving crime, or I don't know, Chipotle somewhere. He's probably in a car traveling somewhere. To be honest with you, but either way, we're here on Thursday. We're live, full effect. We'll be here for the next half hour, 45 minutes or so. You got questions about college basketball, drop them in the chat. I ain't gonna lie, we're both watching the last minute of this Miami, Ohio UMass.
It's a foul. That's a foul.
I was just saying, we both, yeah,
right there. That's it, right there. That is
yeah,
a foul.
That's a little bit of, that's some contact there.
Listen, I have
right?
UMass. I said to Lenny before we came on, I can't wait to lose this bet in overtime.
Oh, don't say that.
That's kind of how it's gone for me. I have a 6-unit play on UMass plus 7.5 that I released yesterday. This would have been my game of the year if not for the awkward start time. It started, this game tipped off at 11 a.m., so they would have had to buy the play yesterday and then wait for today, and that would have been a customer service issue. I actually released Miami or UMass plus 7.5, and I released them on the money line plus 250. I originally had that as a 3-unit play. I backed it down to a 1-unit play just to kind of keep it in my pants a little bit.
Right.
But I said write my write-up. I said Miami of Ohio is going to lose this game. That's it. That's my call. They're down 2 with 18.4 seconds left, and UMass is going to shoot free throws. So, you wonder how it is that we do what we do in March. Like, I sniffed this one out from a mile away. Like, one of the stupidest things, like, it's like a subtle form of stupidity that has a major impact on all this stuff that I will never understand why no one has figured this out yet. Making the number 1 seeds in these conference tournament play the early game is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Like, this game tipping off at 11 a.m. is completely different than if this game tipped off at, say, 7 p.m. Okay, you see this a lot. The only conference that ever changed this was the Big 12, and it was because Kansas used to have to tip off at 12:30 in the quarterfinals, which was 11:30 local, I believe. Yeah. And after a couple years of them struggling, especially in the first half of the Big 12 tournament, I think Bill Self went to him and was like, dude, we're not playing at 11:30 anymore. So now the number 1 seed in the Big 12 plays the second game.
Right.
Still live. Okay. Miami of Ohio just got fouled on a jump shot. They're down 4, under 10 seconds left.
Yeah, they're dead in the water, I think.
Well, like I said, like, the number 1 seed should be playing the evening games. They should be playing in packed stadiums under the lights at night, just like they did all year, making these kids who earned the number 1 seed by being the best team, making them have to come out at noon or 11 a.m. to play is ridiculous. And that's
I really thought Miami, Ohio would have showed up a little bit more than what I'm seeing here. And to be honest with you, they were up and they just have fallen apart the last 8 minutes of this game. They were up by 10, I think, at one point. I'm not even sure, but
like I said, this was an easy call for me. This would have been one of my
in March.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I have had a pretty good track record, which we'll talk about a little bit more tomorrow. Yeah. But like, this one was obvious. The early start time, the fact that UMass should have beat them the first time they played them, they only lost by 2. The fact that Miami of Ohio went to overtime against their rivals on the road to get that win, to cement their legacy, their undefeated regular season. Like, obviously this was going to be a letdown. Even if they had played later in the day, I would have been betting against Miami of Ohio in the letdown spot. But when I saw they were playing at noon against a team that almost beat them, Frank Martin, excellent underdog coach, just all the stars aligned here. Like I said, I may have higher rated plays. I'm probably not going to have another play this March that I liked as much as I liked UMass. Called for the outright upset.
Anything else look painfully obvious to you today that maybe didn't make the card?
No, I will have a big play tomorrow. I know the matchup I'm going to get. I know it. Okay. If I get the matchup that I want, and I get the number, I'm going to pull the trigger on a very big play. One of the things that makes today very difficult is, and this is just me personally, I don't love betting on teams that haven't played in the tournament yet against teams that
Right.
you know, like there's that rust factor. You got a team that's got a little bit of momentum. You got a team that has gotten that first win under its belt. Usually
Right.
those teams are underdogs. The reason that they had to play is because they're lower seed or because they're higher seeds, however you say it, bigger numbered seeds.
Right. Yeah.
So I have been burned by that in the past. That's just kind of a handicapping lesson I learned the hard way, is never pull the trigger on a big play on a team that hasn't played yet in a conference tournament.
That's fair. And to be honest with you, I flip-flop back and forth on this game. I did
over.
on like Monday, I liked it. I liked UMass. This morning I liked Miami, Ohio. I should have laid off this game is what I should have did. UMass in the first half is what I really liked. And at least that cashed a little bit of money. So whatever. Does Miami, Ohio still get in the tournament with this loss? I don't think so. I'd be honest with you. Do they still make the tournament? Do you think?
I think they should. I think it's asinine that they wouldn't make it.
I get it.
I don't care, man. I'm always on the side of the mid majors. I'd rather take a top tier mid major that has accomplished something versus like the 12th team out of the goddamn SEC. Like beat it with those schlub ass teams, like the 9th team in the ACC or the 11th team out of the Big Ten. Like get out of here with those teams. Those teams suck. Like are you gonna take USC? You know what I mean? No. Like, would USC beat Miami of Ohio? Maybe they would.
Maybe Miami of Ohio. Now this is motivation if they get in the tournament and they make it around.
They went undefeated. They're only the 4th team in the modern era, let's say over the last 30 years, that has gone undefeated in the regular season. St. Joe's did it.
Yeah.
Wichita State did it. Kentucky did it all the way to the finals, I believe, and now Miami of Ohio. Of course, they should be in the NCAA tournament. The way the NCAA tournament is set up is we have automatic bids. We're not taking the 68 best teams,
right?
Okay, if not, the Big West wouldn't have an automatic bid. The Ivy League wouldn't have an automatic bid. So that's not what it's about. It's about taking these teams and giving them all an equal opportunity in this bracket to prove what they can do. Miami of Ohio should be in. Anyone that suggests that they shouldn't be in either has an ulterior motive, like Bruce Pearl, or they don't know, or they don't know what they're talking about. Like,
I just think this paves the way for. I love Akron today. I've said this for weeks now. I think Akron wins this tournament. Mm-hmm. I think now, but hey, like you said, it's their first game in the tournament. So, I mean, I don't know what I like out of that, but I like Akron today.
In general, I don't like to lay double digits in March.
I took their team
my service lately has seen me take a lot of like ugly underdogs in tournaments. I had San Jose State plus 15 last night. They won outright. Yay me. Yep. But I also had Air Force who lost by 40. I'm one of those guys that just kind of on spec. I will take a double-digit underdog in March. It is hard to go on a neutral court and beat a team you're supposed to beat by 17, 18, 20 points. It is. It's more difficult than it seems.
But Air Force, boy, I'll tell you what, you cojones to take anything with Air Force. For sure.
Yeah, they're one of the worst teams.
I know it's like, neutral could. I really think you could make a case sometimes in neutral territory, neutral ground tournament. Things happen, weird things happen. Who knows? But I'm on Ohio State here. They're up, I think, at halftime by 4. Let me refresh. I think it's
I like Ohio State 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, I have it my write up from yesterday. Their average loss in Mountain West play was only 18 points. And both games against Nevada, they stayed within 15 points. So, give me 20 and a half on a neutral side. I thought Nevada would call off the dogs. They absolutely did not. And I lost. But, like I said, it was a winning day for me yesterday. Thanks to this pick. Let's try and do it again today.
And listen, if you want to get in on more of Robert's premium plays, check out that free $60 account. If you're brand new to Doc Sports, never used this, now's a great opportunity to use this in March for March Madness. You get in on this free $60 account, DocSports.com/free60. Right there, there's a link in the description of the video. Just click the link, take you right over there. Sign up real easy. Use that 60 however you want. Day pass, week pass, season pass, whatever you got.
If you guys are live betting right now, maybe take a look at that Missouri line. I did a free play video for Doc Sports yesterday where I actually called Kentucky in the first half, but Missouri for the game. I bet you could probably get Missouri catching around 9.5, maybe even 10 points right now in game betting. I think that there's a little bit of value there. I don't think Kentucky's going to run away with it. I don't think that this is a particularly good Kentucky team, frankly. They're just not super talented, and I don't think that they're going to make a big run. And you know what, Lenny, this is one of those situations. They're up 8 right now, so I bet you can get them. I bet you can get Missouri plus 12. This is another one of those situations like we just talked about. Kentucky got to play last night. Okay, They knocked off the rust. They had a tough game against LSU. They were able to build that momentum. So they hit the ground running this morning against a Missouri team that they're just like waking up, stretching out, being like, all right, we got a SEC tournament game. Let's go. So I thought that they would be a little bit low-key in the first half, and they have. But I do not think that Kentucky is going to win this game by 18 or 20 points.
Right now, it's only at 8.5 on DraftKings. Caesars.
That's the full game line?
Full game line right now. 7.
I mean, that tells you all you need to know. Kentucky was a 3.5-point favorite coming into this game. They're up 8 right now. I would have expected that in-game line to be around 10.5, right? It's only 8.5. Missouri is 7 for 21 from the field. They've only made 31. They're going to make some shots. Like, their offense is going to wake up, and they're going to get going, and I think they're going to turn this into a game.
Yeah, and that number just dropping on DraftKings. But shop your lines. I don't know where everybody, teach their own, what book you like. You don't have multiple books. I don't know what you're really doing there. St. John's destroying Providence too.
Again, kind of kicked myself for that. I used a 1-unit play on Providence. Again, double digits on spec against the team, a number 1 seed playing that early game. I thought Providence might be able to take some of that momentum from that Butler when they played well in the second half and they shot out of their minds. They also they beat St. John's once. They had 3 games against Connecticut, 4 games against St. John's, 2 against St. John's, 2 against Connecticut, the 2 top tier teams, right? All of those games they lost by 8 points or fewer. 2 games they lost by 5 points. 1 of the games they won. So Providence played really well against St. John's and Connecticut during the regular season, but they've been a flaky team all year. They didn't show up. Kim English, their head coach, was announced before that they already let him go. So obviously they got the win-1 for the Gipper was yesterday, and now they're kind of done. Which reminds me, St. Bonaventure, they tip off at 2:30. Okay, they're another team. Mark Schmidt,
George Mason, right? Against George Mason?
Yes. Yep. Mark Schmidt, their head coach, he already announced that he is going to retire after this tournament. Mark Schmidt has been a fantastic mid-major head coach in upstate New York. Okay. And this is already a St. Bonaventure team that is much better than its record. They started 10-1 this year. They won some games against some other mid-major teams like Siena, Furman. I know Robert Morris was one of the top 2 against teams that either are going to the NCAA tournament or won their league. Okay. They hit conference play, and then they just lost a ton of close games. St. Bonaventure has 16 losses this year. 10 of their 16 losses have come by 5 points or less or in overtime. Okay. Like, they were knocking on the door in every game. So they're catching points from a George Mason team that is trending downwards. They have the added motivation of, playing for Mark Schmidt, trying to send him out on top. Right. I would not be surprised to see an upset there. And I think there's definitely value in the point. And I think St. Bonaventure is like perfect for a teaser. Nevada Maverick, it ended yesterday.
I don't hate that. Yeah. I was just going to say, that sounds like a perfect teaser spot for me.
Yeah, I don't see them getting run. I don't see them getting blown out. They scored 98 points yesterday. He got fired yesterday. Well, let's be clear about this. They did not renew his contract. He didn't fire him.
Saw that coming, right? I mean, we all saw it. Was like everybody knew this was not like a hot take. Oh my God. Not like Baltimore Ravens pulled out of a Max Crosby trade. This was not breaking news, but where do you think he ends up? Does he get
He's got to come back east. He's got to come back east. He's a East Coast guy. New Jersey guy. I think he is a very good coach. I think he'll land somewhere. Maybe I don't think he'll hop in the Big East. I don't think he wants to be in the same conference as his brother. But I think that there's going to be some low-level Big Ten jobs. The Boston College job is open. He could hop in the ACC. The Georgia Tech job is open. As a matter of fact, I said that Arizona State, they should maybe get on the phone for Damon Stoudemire, who played at Arizona, who was a very good coach. Was he at Portland? I believe wherever he was in the WCC before he went to Georgia Tech. Damon Stoudemire was good. He got kind of a raw deal in Georgia Tech. They dealt with a ton of injuries this season. I think Damon Stoudemire could coach. Again, he's got those Arizona roots. I think that would be a good fit for Arizona State. Somebody Max brought up a name, Randy Bennett. Is Randy Bennett going to leave? Is he going to leave St. Mary's ever? That might be a good fit for him. And Travis Steele, the head coach for Miami of Ohio. Does he get another mid-major job? He was at Butler before. He has been a really good coach everywhere he's been. Right. So I don't know. We'll see.
Joe B says he likes Wisconsin -6 over Washington and San Diego State -5.5 over Colorado State tonight. Thoughts on those two games?
I released Wisconsin. I'm kicking myself now that number has come down, but I like the Badgers -6, -6.5. That's where that number is. San Diego State, I think I would play that. Colorado State's dangerous because of the way they shoot the ball. They take a ton of threes, they make a ton of threes, and if they get going, they can be tough. Now, San Diego State does have revenge because they did lose to Colorado State a couple weeks ago, and they beat them by 23 in the first meeting. San Diego State's one of those teams that I'm not going to bet against in the Mountain West Conference tournament. They just had too much success. So I think you're on the right side of both of those games there.
Yeah, I don't like betting San Diego State in the state of Nevada. You know what I mean? And I know it's being played. It's not against UNLV or Nevada, but I know they just beat Nevada, they just beat UNLV. But I don't know. I just, that game for me, I want to live bet that game. You want to know what my dinner plans are? That game starts at 6:00 my time. There'll be probably some leftover pizza and that game on TV for sure.
I mean, that sounds fantastic. That's the time of year it is, right? Make another drink, grab another slice, and sit down and
classic. Watching Italy last night take Mexico, so the USA goes on. I'm eating too much.
Ohio
pasta.
State has opened up an 8-point lead. Fordham making a furious comeback against George Washington. That was a 21-point game at halftime. That is now a 5-point game right there. Same thing. George Washington got that first win, man. They got that I'm telling you right now, it's not like a lock. You just bet every team in the first half. But George Washington came out. They already had that win under their belt. They went nuts on Fordham. NC State, they covered the first half line today against Virginia. Virginia team that beat them by 17 points in Raleigh and beat them by 30 in Charlottesville in the 2 regular season meetings. NC State within 1 at halftime. Virginia started to pull away a little bit by 4. It takes a minute for these teams that have not played a game yet to get their feet under them.
That's true. Scott, big Miami, Ohio fan says they effed around and found out today. Lost 10-point lead. Did this all year and finally bit them in the ass. Great season for Miami, Ohio. Yeah, you can't take that away from them. I mean, perfect regular season. Can't get much better than that. We can
look. Not only should they still make the NCAA tournament, but they got some help yesterday. A bunch of teams that were in those kind of like need to win to get in type of situations, like that's lost. There weren't a lot of teams that were on the bubble that won yesterday, which just bolsters the point. Do you want to take a team like SMU that's really banged up, that has some played in a better conference, played a lot of good teams, didn't beat a lot of good teams,
right?
And put them in the NCAA tournament to just lose in the first round or maybe win a game right now? Or do you want to take Miami of Ohio and reward the mid-major team for doing something like historic? Really, for legendary.
Yeah.
Take Miami of Ohio, put them in the first 4 game. Those games are played in Ohio. You would have a packed house. You'd have a lot of eyeballs on that. Put them up against one of those major conference teams. Let's settle it on the court. Put them in the
Right.
field. Like, I will be pissed if Miami of Ohio doesn't make it. It's just nonsense.
Fair. I hope they do. This Iowa State Texas Tech game is a dogfight too. I got this game tied at 33, about a minute, half or 30 seconds left in the first half. But there's a lot.
I'm selling my Texas Tech stock. They have been all heart, and they've played balls to the wall without JT Toppin. But we're in crunch time now. We're in March. We're in conference tournament, NCAA tournament. You can't lose a first-team All-American and still just make a run to the Elite Eight or something like that. Like, it's just not going to happen. They weren't a very deep team to begin with. So again, they got a great system. They got a great coach, and they're all heart. But talent is going to win this time of year more than it's going to lose. And it's unfortunate, but I'm off the Texas Tech train.
That's fair. What about the NBA? Did you even bother to look at the NBA? Because I know you're.
I have a 7-unit play going in the NBA.
What?
75-48 with my last 123 NBA plays rated 5 units or above. I'm on a plus 3,300 NBA run. Should be more, frankly. There was a game last week that I gave out on Docs Daily that I was like, this should have been a 7-unit play. Yep. Blah, 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 that one. So I should be on like a plus 5,000 run. Feeling really good in the NBA. And I do have a 7-unit play. A couple other games that I have my eye on. I want to see the San Antonio-Denver game. Okay. That was a game I circled on Monday as a great spot for San Antonio. Then they did what they did last night to Houston. And I kind of undervalued the return of Aaron Gordon. Remember, Denver has been shorthanded. Jamal Murray's been in and out of the lineup. Joker got hurt and then wasn't the same when he came back. They've been without Aaron Gordon, their third best player. They're getting healthy at the right time. And I've been saying since November that when healthy, I thought that Denver was the second best team. Now, this was before San Antonio did what they did. I thought it was Oklahoma City, Denver, and then whomever. I put San Antonio. Frankly, I'd probably put San Antonio as the best team in the NBA right now for my money. But Denver is right there as a number 3 team. They're going to be tough. I want to see how they match up against the Spurs. The other game is obviously Oklahoma City, Boston. Boston is going to be without a bunch of guys. Derek White, I don't think, is going to play. Jason Tatum's not going to play. Peyton Pritchard is not playing. But what do we talk about all the time, Lenny? Like, teams, nobody's playing on this team.
Oh, yeah.
And then they come out and they win, or they.
No reason. I'm fading the injury report. Yeah.
Right. Fade the injury report. And also,
I love Denver. I love Denver in a teaser, by the way, because I got that at 6.5 on DraftKings, and a 4-point teaser got me. You can give me 10.5 points with the Denver Nuggets. I don't care who they're playing. Just saying.
I'm with you, dude. Give me the joke. Just them as an underdog. I love you. Give me the Joker. He's the best player on the floor, no matter what. Okay, other guys will win the MVP or whatever. He is the best player in the NBA. Yep. It's not out. You give me the best player and the points. That's usually something that I'm into. What's interesting about this for them is that they have just had a really long week. Like, this is their 3rd game in 4 nights. They were at Oklahoma City. That game was a battle. They played Houston at home last night. Now they have to travel and play San Antonio. They played the Knicks and the Lakers before that. They have had a lot of high-profile, emotional games over an 8-day stretch. They played the Lakers, Knicks, Thunder, Houston, and now San Antonio. That's a lot. That is mentally a lot. Yeah. So that's why I kind of want to see if they show up tonight. I think they will. And I got a tidbit for you, for those of you watching. I did not know this. But Lenny, we've been leaving a lot of money on the floor in the NBA. Oh my God, this is ridiculous.
I no doubt I do.
The Boston Celtics are 6-22 against the total in their last 28 games. That on its own, the fact that Boston goes under pretty much every game, we have missed out on. But it gets better. They are 5-17 against the total after a game in which they go over. So if they go over the total, automatically bet the under. This is for the season. For the season. They're hitting almost 80% on the under after that. Their last 11 games after they've gone over, they are 1-10 against the total. 1-10. Since December, they've gone over in back-to-back games one time, and it was over the break. They went over right before the All-Star break, and then 8 days later, right after the break. That's it. And then they instantly went under like six straight times.
Interesting.
They went over in their last game.
217 and a half today.
It's got to be a blind under. And Boston,
I'm just saying. I just have to hit submit. Okay.
Yep.
I'm just saying.
If they go over, we double down on the next game.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Joe Beef says he likes the Wizards plus 13 and a half. Hold your nose.
I like it.
But cash.
I like it. That was one of the last plays off of my card. Washington got humiliated. You know, like the Bam Adebayo thing was great. Great story. Happy for him. No problems for that. But like that was humiliating for Washington, right? Like that's been a big story for 36 hours, and they were on the wrong end of it. So even though they're tanking, you got to think that that's going to stick in their craw a little bit. Trae Young is going to play tonight. I think he's capable of keeping them within 20. He's a loser. Everybody knows how I think about Trae Young. But he can maybe make some shots late to keep it respectable. And also, I just don't trust Orlando. Okay? Like, who are they beating by 15?
I was going to bring up that. Yeah, Orlando. I'm not really concerned with Orlando.
Right.
To your point, though, when Bam and the Heat did that to the Wizards and everybody talked about that, I was just like, and isn't there just somebody that's like, you know, hey man, you just ain't gonna do that shit no more.
Right.
I mean, you just gotta put him on the ground, and if we fight, we fight. Then that's it. They eject me. But you're not gonna put 43 points on from the foul line. I mean, that shit ain't gonna happen, you know. But
I agree. They just
can't expect them to get up the next game is my point. They didn't do it then. So, I mean, I'm not saying I'm taking the Wizards or against the Wizards. I'm just like, no.
I definitely like the Wizards. I'm definitely going to be betting the Wizards tonight. These two teams just played on March 3rd, and Washington lost by 17. Trae Young didn't play in that game. Is he worth – and I'm seeing some 14s out there. Is Trae Young worth 3 points on the line? I think he is. Is the motivation from being embarrassed the other night worth 3 points on the line? I think it is. And the fact that Orlando, are they going to like the fact that we just don't trust them to score enough? Is that worth it? Like I've been just betting against the tankers, right? Every day betting against tanking teams, betting against tanking teams. This is the rare situation where I actually like the other side. So I'm going to trust that instinct.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say this, but in some teasing, like in a situation I'm just blindly looking through this would be the Suns over the Pacers, who we think are tanking. I would have blindly taken the Magic over the Wizards. And I would have blindly taken probably the Lakers over the Bulls in a 3-team teaser. And 4 points, just adjust 4 points other way, because I just that's how I approach the NBA. It's lazy, it's square. But this is what I do right now, because it's like I just ain't got the time to worry about what the hell the NBA is doing.
Sure.
I'm especially with college basketball right now. I mean, everybody's in the tall grass with that. I mean, we're up at 6 a.m. in the morning trying to figure out how to get on this Miami UMass game for no reason.
Hey, Ohio State, Lenny, has extended to a 13-point lead. Kentucky, Missouri, 9-point game. Iowa State pulled ahead to 3 at halftime. I think that they're going to extend that lead. I took Iowa State today. I'd like to see that. Providence, come on, baby. They cut it to 15. They were down 27. Sneaking that back door for me, baby. And Virginia has extended the lead to 5 with 13 minutes left. NC State's another one. They're going to make the NCAA tournament having done absolutely nothing. Right? Just by virtue of being in the ACC, beating Boston College, and blah, 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 blah. I mean, they lost by like 40 at home to Duke a couple weeks ago. They're going to make the NCAA tournament. Nobody's going to bat an eye. And you're going to leave a team that won 31 games out. I said this about Auburn. I'll say it about USC. I'll say it about NC State. And I'm dead serious about this. If NC State had played Miami of Ohio's schedule this year, they would have lost a game. They would have lost a game because they're flakes, because they just don't show up sometimes, because they don't play any defense, because they don't care, because they're not a good basketball team. So they are a more talented team than Miami of Ohio. Let's reward the team that showed up every night for 31 games and won every time they stepped on the court.
By the way, Fordham down by 2 with a minute and a half left. They were by halftime, it was 38-17.
Glad I stayed away from that one. I wanted to sneak in George Washington laying the points yesterday. Glad I stayed away. Fordham just has a way. If you look at their results from this year, they stink. They're not a very good team, but they're another team that just every game they play is decided by like 3 to 6 points. You know, like they just played this year. Okay, well, listen, while we got that going on, make some sense out of the NHL card for me today.
I have
a 7-unit play that, like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not feeling great about the closer we get to the game.
Okay.
There were a lot of big swings I wanted to take today. I kind of like San Jose in regulation over Boston. Like there's like plus 260. Okay. Yeah. I kind of like Anaheim -1.5 and Anaheim in regulation over Toronto. -1.5 against Toronto today pays plus 220. Toronto is a sinking ship. Anaheim's been underrated and undervalued all season long. If we think Toronto keeps sliding, why not play the 1.5 and take the 220? Like, am I nuts on a couple of these? I like Detroit. Released
Stay away. Danger Will Robinson.
In regulation. I have not bet on or against Detroit. I have not bet on or against the Detroit Red Wings. We've talked about this on here. Yeah. I just stay away from them. I just ignore them every game. I've never bet on or against them in over 2 months. They are plus 275 tonight on the 3-way line in Tampa Bay.
It's a game that they have no business winning. Dylan Larkin, obviously captain team, and Andrew Kopp, one of our best defensemen. They're both out for the next 2 weeks with just lower body injuries. So God knows what the hell that is. Shout out to new members too. I thought that said Aiden and Brian. Shout out to you guys. But I don't, listen, there's a small pizza money play on the Red Wings for me in money line just because I'm a Red Wing fan. That's it. Okay. That was the end of that cap. And they are a good team on the road. I kind of like the Leafs today. And I just, it's like when we had that conversation, well, they're just not going to lose 162 games in baseball. Right. They're just not, okay? They suck, but they're not going to just lose no more games. The Ducks are a very good team this year. We made money on the Ducks, but not on the road. They're sub 500 on the road by 1 game. It's not a lot, but still. So I dabbled probably a little. I did dabble a little bit in the Leafs money line.
I think the number backs up there. I think that's a sharp play and a sharp line read, frankly. Okay, You're talking about a division winner, Anaheim on the road. Toronto's on a losing streak. They're kind of a sinking ship. But this is a short line. Everything's begging me to take Anaheim here. That's why for me it would either have been Toronto. I'm going hard the other way. I'm going Anaheim -1.5. Just because if you are wrong and the Leafs are just a sinking ship, it's going to be a 4-1 game, and I'm getting plus 220 on the money. The same thing with Detroit. Like, I'm with you. Detroit has been winning games that they shouldn't all year. They're not great on the road. They're missing guys. But this is more about Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay was hot as balls for like 2 months. They went like 21-5 or something like that. Now they're not. Like, they weren't very good at the beginning of the season. They came out of nowhere to become the best team in hockey for like 2 months. They are 1-6 in their last 7 games, and they haven't looked good doing it. Like, they gave up 8 goals to Buffalo. They lost by 3 goals to Columbus. They lost to 3 goals.
And everybody is losing to Buffalo nowadays, though. I'll tell you, Buffalo is the hottest team in the NHL, man. Yeah. They are. I said this in a video today. I don't know how you don't bet Buffalo in regulation, but I can't. Like, at some point, they can't win they can't never lose again. You know what I mean? And the Capitals are a decent team. They're not good on the road. I don't know how you don't bet Buffalo and the over, because I've been doing it now for weeks and it's been cashing. So Why would I not? I'm not getting off the train now. I'm riding that shit till the wheels fall off. I like the Bruins. I make money on the Bruins at home. I'm a sucker for the Bruins at home. They're one of the best teams in the NHL, but the Sharks scared the shit out of me for real. So it's like Buffalo. It's the Bruins in regulation or nothing for me. That's just where it is. I think the Devils are the same type situation. The Flames are a decent team, but they suck on the road. They absolutely suck on the road. I don't like taking the Devils after one of the Hughes brothers. I can't remember which one, Quinn or Jack or whatever, whichever one just had a hat trick. They won 6-3. I like to fade teams after that. After a big hype spot, they're all out at the club partying. But I don't know. But these Devils, they're young. They're like Buffalo. The Devils in Buffalo will be good for a minute. And that's just good for hockey to have East Coast teams involved.
Got good early, got bad for a while. What are they going to be down the stretch now that they're probably not going to make the playoffs? I know that some very smart people like New Jersey a lot tonight. What are your thoughts on that Dallas-Edmonton game? I lost with Colorado small the other night. McKinnon gets kicked out of the game. It goes to overtime, all that stuff. Edmonton has now won back-to-back road games against Vegas and Colorado. Earlier, after I saw that Colorado loss, I was like, I'm going to hammer Dallas in that game. Love Dallas. They're great at home. Don't trust Edmonton. They're not going to win 3 straight road games, all this stuff. But then this morning when I was thinking about it, I was like, is Edmonton getting it going? Like, were they doing what a lot of teams that make the finals and lose do? They just kind of dick around during the regular season. Now they're like, all right, we got a month to the playoffs. Let's turn it up to 11 and let's just start tearing through some people. Is that the vibe you're getting from Edmonton, or are they just shaking?
I've never doubted their offense. They can score. I bet Edmonton overs since the Olympic break, and I have been profitable. I'm just saying I just blindly bet their over. The other night I was on the over 7. It pushed. I took the over 7, even though it was plus money. I would bet the over tonight at 7. I like the 6.5 better because you'll pay a little bit more juice for that, but you won't push. It might land right on 7. But their goaltending is their problem. If their goaltending can get mediocre, they might have a shot to run deep in the playoffs, but it's not just defense wins championships, but goaltending wins championships. Without a goaltender, the Edmonton Oilers are just a better.
They'll be good, just not good enough.
They really aren't. And Dallas can score.
Let's go. Providence cut it to 12. 3-pointer for Stefan Vanks, who set the Big East tournament record with 9 3-pointers. They're catching 11.5 now. All right, we got to wrap this up because I got to be watching and analyzing these games. I have a 7-unit NHL play today. I have a 7-unit NBA play today. I am now, after hitting Miami of Ohio, calling for the outright upset winner. I'm now 15-5 for nearly plus 7,000 on my last 20 plays rated 5 units or above across all sports. Won my big daily prop yesterday. Won a sweep card. I am going to have a monster college basketball play tomorrow. So get on board. I'm hot. I'm feeling good. And when I'm feeling good, I'm not holding back. So let's do this thing, man.
Let's get after it. Don't forget, use that free $60 account. You can get all that stuff he just mentioned for absolutely no cost. Free $60 account. Use that towards all of that good stuff over there. Robert will be back tomorrow with Raphael and Craig Trapp. I'll be back somewhere. I'll be back tomorrow too, somewhere doing something. Good luck unless you're against us. Doc Daly's here Monday through Friday, 1 o'clock Eastern, Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern. Take care, guys.